Yes, you're welcome to yet another exciting edition of the program Legal Connect, the program where we educate you for you to know things from the point of law and at least to equip you very well to be good citizens. I have two wonderful young lawyers here in the house to discuss on a topic that is of general interest to everyone doing business. Let's meet them.
My name is Olivia Nabo.
And you?
I'm Uzo Wingate.
So let's say Uzo and Olivia are in the studio. Well, you're welcome. The topic is, we want to talk on the Company and Allied Matters Act, that is CAMA. For every young man or young woman out there, everybody wants to own a business.
Of course.
And owning a business, some people might not know, they can think it's just simply going to CAC to register. But tell us, what is the CAMA?
CAMA is actually the Company and Allied Matters Act. The old one has been amended, so presently we have Company and Allied Matters Act 2020, and some things were actually changed. CAMA is basically about the regulation of business in Nigeria. That's
Okay,
a kind
regulation of business.
Yes, in Nigeria. Stipulate the rules, that the regulations guarding the business, the running of business, that's the business sector in Nigeria, what to do and what not to do.
You know, registration of companies and registration of business names. Can you tell us the difference?
Okay, the difference basically has to do with the structure and the legal significance which each of the business name and company attracts. A business name is like an enterprise. It's advised when you have a small business that is not really big, normally a one-man business or proprietorship. Meanwhile, a company is a legal entity on its own, and it's normally resorted to when you want to run a big business. That's when you use a company. Yes.
Okay.
So the business name is simpler, it's easier. For a startup, it protects your business interest, your image, and your branding. Meanwhile, as a company, company helps you. You, as the owner of the company, are distinct from the company itself.
Okay. So if I'm registering a company, it must be limited.
There are different kinds of company. They have unlimited company.
So they have limited and unlimited company.
Yes.
But you don't have limited in business names.
No, we don't.
Okay, that's why we see a lot of enterprises.
Of course.
Okay. How many directors in companies?
Well, the new CAMA has made provisions for just one person for a private company. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So no more having
many
directors
now.
for limited liabilities companies.
Yes.
Really?
For a private company now, you can start up a company as an individual. Before now, it used to be 2.
Or 3.
Yes.
Or
But
4, depending. That's why we have board meetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this one is just for a private company. So for a public company, you still need at least 2.
Okay. All right, you've heard it now. For a public company, you will need so many directors, but for a company that is your own, you can be the only director if you choose. Interesting. Now, can a business name have more than one director? Enterprise?
Well, a business name does not require directors. It requires its proprietor and probably partners. In there are more than one person.
Okay, partners.
Yes.
You can have partners.
Yes, a partnership.
Okay.
A partnership can register as a business name, so where you have 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 20 persons running a small enterprise. You can register as a business name. It's more flexible and it protects your business interests. As an individual also, you can register a business name. As an individual, you are the owner of the business, you register as a business name. The liability is still borne by you alone, so also is the profit.
Okay.
In a partnership, the same thing. The liability is shared among the partners, and so also the profit.
Oh, wow. I'd like to ask you this. Is it only lawyers that can register?
It is not only lawyers that can register business name
Or company?
or a company. Actually, the old CAMA actually provide for 3 different people that can register a business name. The first people are legal practitioners. We have the chartered secretaries and chartered accountants, or a firm of either chartered accountant or chartered secretary. But the new CAMA has actually made it very simple for people. If you know the steps and what it takes to register a business name or a company, anybody can actually do that.
Okay.
But it's advisable that a legal practitioner to help you register your company or a business name.
All right. Now, it's advisable, but we have individuals that does that on their own. We have some hustlers. They're right there.
For every action that you take, there are consequences. I would advise our listeners that you'd seek the advice of a legal practitioner or an accredited agent from the CAC to register your business name or company, as the case may be. Reason being that sometime last year, CAC delisted about 38,000 companies.
I don't understand.
It is not just going about registering a company. There are statutory regulations you are supposed to follow in running your company. So after registration, there are annual general meetings, there are annual returns you are supposed to file at the CAC. So when you fail to file these processes, you think you are running a business, the next thing CAC delist your company and you are suspended from operating as a business company.
No. With all the registration I have, the money I've paid, I will sue them.
And you would lose.
Why would you lose? Why would I lose? Because I've registered the company and you've collected my money. I'm fulfilling all those things, except you said the annual returns. But you can tell me and I'll file it.
When you register your company or business name, you are subscribing to the provision of the law. And the law also states that upon registration, you are supposed to fulfill some other condition, both precedent and consequent upon your registration. So when you fail to do so, there are consequences that come from it. So delisting is one of them. Being delisted means that the company has been suspended for failing to comply with the law. So you have an opportunity of 20 years to apply to be re-enlisted by the CAC. And when you apply and you fulfill the conditions, you'll be re-enlisted.
Okay, just ordinary suspension.
Yes, you cannot function as a business. You're not
I'll not
recognized.
function again.
Yes,
I'll not collect checks. Wow. Anyway, you heard it. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. We're still on Legal Connect.
My name is Charlie Boy, the area father, the father of the youth, the very one of Africa, yeah, and the president of all frustrated Nigerians. I'm glad to be here, and if you want to know what's happening, keep it locked down on iBrandTV, and that's the way we rock.
Yes, you're welcome back. This is still Legal Connect. A lot of you that are into business, I hope you're gaining one or two things. I still have here Uzo and Olivia. Now, let me ask this. A lot of business people, at times, they have a company, they register a name, and they have some other subsidiary under that group. Now, if I have a name, should I just add those groups, or am I going to register them again? I'm an individual. I want to register a company. A lawyer approaches me.
Yes.
I said, I want to have a group of companies.
Okay.
I want you to go and register a group of companies for me.
Okay.
Let's say Prince Group of Companies. In Prince Group of Companies, once I'm registered, I will pay you the money to register those names. Now, once I'm registered, I want to have Prince Bakery. I want to have Prince Automobile. I want to have Prince Fashion. Should I now register those other companies, or are those companies going to be in that group of companies?
The companies are to be registered.
Separately again?
Yes. The mother company become a holding company, and all of that becomes subsidiary.
So what would I be doing with the group if I didn't register those ones?
What I have to say is, when you are registering a group of companies, obviously you've had plans of making a subsidiary companies. So in registration, you are going to say that, okay, or there's a provision where you're going to list the group of companies, that is the subsidiary companies in the group. Like if you're registering a group of companies, there's a provision or there's a space you are going to fill in the subsidiary companies while registering that group. Yes. Then you fill in the group. That is if you already have, or you have plans of having, of doing that. So you are doing that because you are also reserving those names that you're using for the subsidiary companies.
Okay.
Then in the case where you've not had that group of company, it is just a company. There's also a provision for a change of company or a change of name. That's if you register a company and at the long run you decide to change that company, or if you register a business name, you decide to change it to a company. There's a provision for a change of from a business name to a company, or from a company to a group of companies.
There are situations where already existing companies can come together and form a group of companies.
Okay.
Their operations might be in different sectors, but they are now a group of companies.
What if I find out that the name I want to answer, somebody else is answering it?
You would have to get an alternative name, because if the person is answering it, but the person have not registered, then you can register it and then the name belongs to you exclusively.
Even if I'm using that name before?
Yes, but and so far it's not registered. But if you have a name and you want to register and you find that somebody has already been registered under that name, your company will not be registered under that name.
Is that why you do name search?
Yes, it is one of the requirements. Upon your application for registration, you are supposed to search for the name. So you bring your preferred name and you search for it. So if there's an existing name, you will not be allowed. You'll be told to bring an alternative name. So that's one of the benefits of registration. At least your company name or business name is protected. No other person can register under that name. So that's what.
And it's also advisable when going through search to have 2 or 3 names planned, like you already have them done that okay, if this is not available, you can try this. So most times there's only space for like 2 names when conducting a search. You can input in 2 different names. If the first one is not available, most likely the second one will be available. So
Can an unregistered company have a bank account?
No, you cannot.
it can, because when you're filling in the forms for the registration, the bank account is necessary.
Okay. Yes, I think lots of people are really getting educated now when it comes to. Now there are times some companies sound similar. Okay, let's go to branding now. You know, you have a name that is similar with mine, and the branding. You know, I've seen companies go to war just because you are using similar products like mine. There's this glue, super glue, known as Alteco super glue. I think I have the permission of the company to mention their name here because I was involved in that thing. The man now said that they are faking the name of the product of his company, Alteco glue. At the end of the day, he got a permission to seize all the products that are the same color.
Yes.
But it was difficult. How come? Because you go to the market, the people selling, the day you are going to come seize, the people selling the product, they are no longer there.
If you check the order that he got, I'm assuming it's from the court because the court is the only body that can give such an order. The order mandates him to go to anywhere the product is being held. So I would advise the person to go to not the market, the people that distribute to the market,
manufacturer,
the warehouses, the manufacturer, anybody that is, in fact, the person is even liable to a criminal prosecution because what he's doing is unlawful. So having registered the company, having protected the name, anybody that copies you, especially to deceive others, it's a crime.
Hairdressers, do they need to register again?
If your shop or your business is known by your name,
by my name
or forename, there's no need for registration.
As an individual that want to set up a business, if you're using your forename and your surname to run that business, basically you don't need registration for that. But once you want to have a business name that is well known, that you want it to be strictly by you, you want to be the only user, you can get any other name that you want to use, then you have to register it.
I want you to be very pragmatic in answering this now, because we always say this is the practice that happens elsewhere.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the conditions of business in those places are not prevalent here. Once there is a policy, we always say this is what happens all over the world.
Yes.
Now, in those places, there are conditions that the government have put in place to bring ease of business. Do we have such things here?
Well,
or we just want to put in the law to...
I would say under the new CAMA, we didn't just copy. The CAMA is made in such a way that they took into consideration our economic situation, while also taking cognizance of the fact of how we relate with other persons, because we want to bring in investors. So before you bring in investors, they want to be sure that your system is flexible. So while taking note of your peculiar economic significance, you also should make sure that you are in line with what all others are doing, because the world is interconnected and interdependent economically. So
you just turned to a defense lawyer. It's okay. All right, I tell you that we really... Is there any other thing that the new CAMA is expecting us to know? Apart from what you just mentioned, all the things you mentioned now.
Nothing.
Okay. So you've heard it all, and I want to say that it's quite exciting. Watch this program because we've come to the end. And I'd like to thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, very much. Thank you.
And thank you too for coming.
You're welcome, sir.
And maybe anytime we call upon you, you'll come and explain to us a lot of things.
Of course, sir.
Yes, this is Legal Connect, and that's where we draw the curtain. At the same time, next edition of the program, we promise to bring you the best information and education on Legal Connect. My name is Prince Ifeanyi. Bye for now.